So we have our penultimate heat for Junior Rotax. Heat 5. This is race 19 of 24 here today. It's groups A versus T, A versus D. Let's have a look at the starting grid, shall we? So on the front row, it is going to be Thomas Strauve and Bruno Mulders representing Belgium and the Netherlands. Then from the UAE, it is Danny Shields on the inside of row 2. Alongside will be France's Theo Blanc. Leon Zelenko from Croatia and Latvia's Alexander Skelton round out the top 3 rows ahead of, looks like, hang on a second, I think I might see, I'm hoping we see Rafael Renhofer on the track after what happened earlier on in 7th position. We've also got Louis Comin alongside, then Mathis Turlo and Mikkel Pedersen complete the top 10. Max Knappen and Maxim Socherko round out the top 6 rows ahead of Giacomo Marchioro and also Pietro Santesi, Samuel Ifrid, Frederic Zebis, Gennaro Belfiore and Federico Strazzari. That is your 18-strong lineup. So the drivers will steel themselves for their third and final race here in so we're going to get ready to go racing for the penultimate time here for Junior Rotax, and at the moment Zelenko's had a win, Mulders has had a win, but defending champion Kai Rilets has also had 2 victories, so Rilets has the advantage going into tomorrow. But into the tram lines we go. Are we ready? Are we steady? Ladies and gentlemen, we are going racing and off and away for a good start. So Rafael Renhofer is a no-show. We've got 2 cuts off. And one of them again, Alexander Skelton involved again in the wars. And the car that went sideways with him was the 255 of Mikkel Pedersen. Lightning has struck twice for Alexander Skelton at 2 respective points in this track. So he is going to be absolutely fuming, but he will be fired up and ready for tomorrow. Let me tell you that much. Bruno Mulders has got the lead of this race, and it looks like, is that Leon Zelenko, I think, that is just behind in second. And then third place, that will be, well, it looks more like it could be Theo Blanc that could be running at the top 2, because Thomas Strauven drops to P3. Now they come across the line to complete the first lap of the race. It is Bruno Mulders, Theo Blanc, Thomas Strauven, Leon Zelenko, Mathis Turlo, Louis Comin, Maxim Socherko. We've also got Giacomo Marchioro running at the top 8, Max Knappen and Pietro Santesi, but Danny Shields has dropped all the way down the order. No Rafael Renhofer, so effectively I would imagine that he's probably been ruled out for the rest of the race weekend. But there has been a change. Theo Blanc has got past Bruno Mulders for the lead of the race. 5.5 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. So it is a contretemps. The top 3 has started to break away. And between Strauven and Zelenko, the gap is about 7/10 of a second. Well, Zelenko's no longer in 4th place because Mathis Turlo has got past. So it's all change as you were. But it is all change up and down the order. Theo Blanc leads them onto the front straightaway, having completed lap number 2, and is 0.13 ahead of the Dutch driver. Thomas Strauven right where with them. And then you've got Mathis Turlo fending off the Croatian of Leon Zelenko. Louis Comin running at the top 6. Then it's Maxim Socherko, Giacomo Marchioro, Max Knappen, Pietro Santesi, Samuel Ifrid, Gennaro Belfiore, Federico Strazzari, Frederic Zebis, Danny Shields all the way down in 15th. It's been a difficult learning curve for the youngster from the UAE, but he's rising to the challenge as best he can. Mikkel Pedersen and Alexander Skelton, after that first lap incident coming out of turn 1, they are both down in 16th and 17th, and that is a position that they both don't want to be in, but that is what happens. And the distance between Mikkel Pedersen, Alexander Skelton, and those up front, which would be the likes of Federico Strazzari, who's just been passed by Danny Shields, They are quite a distance away, about 5.5 seconds away from the Italian in the 2:11. But Mulders has got himself back in the lead of the race ahead of Theo Blanc from France. Thomas Strauver trying to keep with them. And then Mathis Turlo is trying to reel them in. Hook, line and sinker. And the young Dutch driver is 7.5 tenths behind this battle for first, second and third at the moment. And he's bringing along with him Maxim Sachurko. Sachurko, well, no, not Sachurko. Sachurko is bringing along Marchioro along for the ride. But Leon Zelenko is coming along with Mathis Turlo at this particular moment. And Alexander Skelton and Mikkel Pedersen are a considerable distance off of the pace. And from what happened earlier, I'm not at all surprised. But now there are changes for positions once again up and down the order. And you can see here that Thomas... That's a little bit further back. That's going to be the likes of Maxim Sachurko, Giacomo Marchioro and Max Knappen battling away. So Marchioro has gotten ahead. That's a steamroll and a half up the inside through that right-hander, courtesy of Max Knappen. But straight away, Maxim Sachurko gets back up the inside. Knappen retaliates, gets back past, goes Sachurko. And now Louis Comin and Samuel Ifrid closing in on them as well. The 10th place car from 54 Squadra Corse, managing to get his way up close and personal. And Giacomo Marchioro now up into P6, having started down in 13th. So a spirited drive from the youngster based out of San Marino. The first time that we've had someone from that nationality join us here, as Frederick Zebis has just been passed by Danny Shields for 13th position. We've got 2 minutes on the clock. The top 5 are getting closer. Last time around they were covered by just 1.3 seconds. And at the moment Bruno Mulders holds the fastest lap of this race, as it's all kicking off a little bit further back to the likes of Belfiore. Shields is in there. You've also got Samuel Ifrid. That is the battle for probably what is going to be around about 10th position. Maybe make that 11th possibly. But Danny Shields past Frederick Zebis. Mikkel Pedersen has dropped behind Alexander Skelton on the circuit. All drivers apart from Raphael Renhofer have effectively been, well, they're covered by about 11.6 seconds. But Bruno Mulders, with 1 minute and 15 on the clock still remaining plus an additional lap, has an opportunity to secure a second victory of the heat. So results called by myself in commentary will be provisional pending the conclusion of any judicial and technical matters post-race. But Danny Shields clearly getting his elbows out because he looks to be making up some positions. But it looks like that he's going to be more than likely in around about. Let's just see as they cross the line. He's up into 12th place past Pietro Santesi as we head into the last 40 seconds plus an additional lap of the penultimate heat. Heat 5 out of 6 for Junior Rotax. And Bruno Mulders keeping things consistent, not giving an opportunity for Theo Blanc to get back past. However, that is easier said than done, but it's one thing to chase somebody down and it's another thing to pass them, as Theo Blanc is going to try and do the level best possible to get past, because now we're going to go on to the penultimate lap of this race. And still Bruno Mulders leads, having started on the front row alongside Thomas Strauver, who's now being closed in on by Strawberry Racing teammate Mathis Turlo. And this is where it gets dicey, folks, because now there is a four-way scrap for the lead, and Mathis Turlo looked up the inside through the left-hander there, and now he's going to look. He nearly thought of it, but Thomas Strauver literally swiped across the track, got in front of Turlo and managed to make the Dutch driver just literally hold back and wait. Strauver was like saying, "You might be my teammate, but we're fighting for position and I want this third place badly." That's exactly what that said to me in terms of the driving style, that Strauver was not going to give any quarter to his teammate, and that says a lot. However, last lap board is out. Mulders is ahead of Teal Blanc by just under 0.3 of a second and goes to within 12 thousandths of the fastest lap time courtesy of Mathis Turlo. A couple of laps or so ago, but he's coming under pressure as Mulders from Theo Blanc, and Thomas Strauven has kept the pair rather honest indeed, and it is half a second between them on the start of the final lap of this race. We'll also be able to get some respites, but we still have 17 of the drivers that started this race. No Rafael Renhofer, unfortunately, due to the incident earlier that saw the 233 from Germany end upside down coming into the penultimate corner on the circuit. But Bruno Mulders comes out of the final corner and secures a second heat victory of the day here in Italy, ahead of Theo Blanc by 3.5 of a second. Thomas Strauven in third, ahead of Mathis Turlo. Then we've also got Leon Zelenko running at the top 5. Good showing by Giacomo Machoro from San Marino in the number 207, finishing ahead of Max Knappen, Maxim Socherko from Lithuania, Samuel Ifrid from Switzerland, and Francis Louis Comin rounding at the top 10. Gennaro Belfiore, Danny Shields, Pietro Santesi, Frederick Zebis, Federico Strazzari, Mikkel Pedersen, and Alexander Skelton all made it to the checkered flag, with the entire field covered by 14.6 seconds. But Bruno Mulders ends his day on high with a victory here in Italy.